It's about them being performers, yeah, and then discovering, you know, what they and their instrument have to contribute to this field, really. I mean, for many of the students, they have no idea what work in this field is at all. It takes quite a while, I think, for a lot of them for that to sink in and to be able to make sense of what that means, and until they have their placement, I think it begins to make sense for them, really. I think that's such a crucial part of the course. By the time they're in the fourth year, you know, they've chosen to do it. You know, they're enthusiastic, they're keen, and also in the postgraduate. In the third year, where it's compulsory, there's a wide variety. Some of them, you know, at the beginning of the year, really interested, really keen. Some of them, I just have to be here, you know, it's a compulsory course. Not very interested. But I do think that over the course of the year, as they come to understand what the field of work is, and when they do a project themselves, and they find themselves sitting in a room with a group of children, you know, and they see the interest. So I do think that by the end of the year, nearly all of them, 99% of them, will have said that it's been a positive experience. Ideally, we like for them to have for them to be working somewhere where they can work as a pianist. But sometimes that's not possible. And then it's about thinking about, well, you know, what are the musical skills that you have? You know about a piece needs to have a beginning and it needs to have an ending, it needs to have some sort of structure. You have an ear, you know, for, you know, how music is put together, and you have an instinct and a sense for what's successful musically. And, you know, there's a lot of knowledge which you can use in a really creative way and bring to a group of people who are instinctive, and therefore I think gets forgotten. The quality of their performance is still really, really important, and that's what makes the difference. The thing that is most important for musicians and performers to learn is that you bring the best that you have to offer as a musician, and you bring it into those different contexts. It's not different just because you're in a primary school to if you're performing at Wigmore Hall. You know, you bring your whole musicianship and your personality as a performer into these different settings as well, and that's what really has an impact. I think probably the thing that we do here that is different is our partnerships with other organisations, whereby the students get an experience of a really high quality project, you know, top quality projects. It's tied in so strongly to the students' sense of themselves as performers and as musicians, and that yes, it is absolutely about you and your identity as an artist and as a musician, and being that not on the concert platform, but being in a different place. And I think that's the kind of identity that I think is really important for this place, for Open Academy.